this time. Everybody, let's get together. Oh, open up a whole new world. It's just around the corner. Oh, you wanna dream about it, think about it, talk about it. Let's do something about it so that you can shout about it.
Welcome to A House Around the Corner. I'm your host, Tricia Zima. We're in Healsville. Now, if you think of Healsville, you normally think of koalas, kangaroos, horses dotting the countryside. You don't normally think the centre of fashion. Well, we've got a surprise for you. We're at the Healsville Living and Learning Centre, and they've got a lovely new program called Introduction to Fashion Design. Getting back into school or starting a new career can be quite scary, but this Learn Local organization has created a course that is both fun and easy, where you can develop the basic skills and design training that you need to move on to a full career in fashion design. You can then apply those skills to get a full diploma. At the end of 2 years, you'll have the skills and training required to start you on a new and exciting career. And at the end of the 2-year course, you have several fashion parades where you get to show off to family, friends, your new designs, including the Royal Melbourne Show. Join us as we meet these new and inspirational designers and their lovely teacher Kelly at a house just around the corner from you. We're here with Kelly Tosh. Welcome.
Thank you.
You're the training coordinator, tutor here?
Tutor, yes.
Yes. How long have you been in this fashion design game?
In the game since I left high school a very long time ago. Worked in the industry for about 15 or so years until I had children.
How many groups do you actually have here at the training centre?
We have 3. We have the what we call the adult group, people that have left school or not as part of the school cluster, and then we have our VCE classes, so we have first year and second year VCE classes as well.
So what are the components that you teach in the fashion design?
Well, we teach everything from the design concept side of it right through making the patterns, doing all of your drawings and making your garments. So the technical side as well as the design side.
And where do you start with the design side? Do you look at magazines?
Inspiration,
or?
yeah, magazines. It could come from anything. It can come from nature, it can come from architecture, art, all sorts of things.
And how do you move that initial vision into an actual finished garment?
You're just putting all of your inspiration together. So you're getting together ideas, different ideas, and then bringing them together into a design, and then moving from there, working out the actual measurements and that sort of side of it. So where the placement, where you want design lines and things like that on the garment, and then the pattern. And once the pattern fits correctly, then we can make up the garment.
Now, what types of fabrics do the girls tend to attract to most?
Well, a lot of them like to go into doing some nice evening wear dresses and things like that. So we end up with lots of chiffons and some velvets and that sort of thing. So yes, sometimes there's some challenges when you're using those sorts of fabrics, but yeah, we get there in the end.
What's the funniest moment you've had in teaching your students?
We do a fashion parade at the end of each year, or the end of the second year, they do a fashion parade. So usually a fair bit of stress involved prior to that, but it's nice once it's all over, you sort of go, phew.
So from what walks of life do these kids come from?
All sorts, I guess. Yeah, we've got older age students as well as, teenagers. So yeah, they come from various different parts. They've all just got an interest in fashion.
So there's no barriers. It doesn't matter your age, your background, you just can walk in and give fashion design a go and make it a success.
Certainly can.
How many of your girls have gone on to be big designers?
We've got a number that are doing further study, so a few that have gone on to courses at RMIT and Box Hill and those sorts of places. And we had a couple that have gone into... So yeah, they're still working their way through it, but hopefully, eventually, You'll see their names in lights, and I'll be able to go along to their parades and say I had a hand in that.
Fantastic. Thank you very much for joining
That's all
us.
right. Thank you.
My name's Kate McKenzie, and I'm studying Certificate 2 in Applied Fashion Design and Technology at Healsville Living and Learning Centre, and I started that at the beginning of 2011.
And how did you find out about this course?
Google. How do you find out about anything these days? I started thinking that fashion has always been a hobby for me, and I started thinking that I'd like to get a bit more knowledge about it and improve what I was doing, sewing anyway, and started looking at courses and thought that the one they offered here really suited my sort of style of learning.
So what have you learned through this course?
My skills have definitely improved, and just from having the fundamental knowledge of how you're actually supposed to do things rather than just the way I kind of made up things as I went along beforehand has just improved everything that I do so much.
So what are the steps that you go through when you start building something?
Well, first you start coming up with ideas and, you know, look for inspiration. And for me, recently I've been really inspired by 1920s kind of styles, and so just looking at magazines, looking at what you see other people wearing on the street, and yeah, just inspiration comes from everywhere, I find. And so start looking for inspiration, getting ideas of what it is you'd like to make, and then starting to put it together.
How do you feel about Kelly as your instructor?
Kelly's a fantastic teacher. She's so inspiring. She's got such fantastic skills, and she's really, you know, she cares about you, and she takes the time to sit down and make sure you understand every aspect of what you're doing so that you can do it right.
So are you going to stay within the Melbourne fashion design, or you think you'll go overseas, Europe, the US, New York?
Who knows where it takes me. I'm just happy to kind of, you know, get started, get working, and just see where it goes.
Fantastic.
Hi, I'm Rhiannon Jorgenson, and I've been studying Certificate 2 Applied Fashion and Technology for the past year at the Living Learning Centre in Healsville, and it's great.
So how did you originally get started with it?
I originally started actually at the Living and Learning Centre a couple of years ago with another lady called Nina Kadzau, and I did a year of garment redesign and construction with her, and it keeps coming back to me, just wanting to make stuff. And I've actually at the local library, I found a pamphlet of the school, and I realised that they were offering another course, and I thought I'd keep going with it.
What has inspired you the most in terms of your designs?
Just the fact that you can imagine something, or you can see something on a magazine, or someone else walking down the street and go, oh, I wouldn't mind, I can see myself in something like that. Or you have a bit of material at home and you're like, I'd like to turn that into a dress or a top or something. And just the fact that you can do it, and once you've done it a few times, you like, I can actually do this. So it inspires you to keep going, I guess.
What's hot in the fashion designs right now, and who are your favourite designers?
Okay, I really like Steve McQueen, and I really love Vivienne Westwood. They're a bit more out there, a bit more avant-garde. At the moment, I'm really liking embellishment, lots of embellishment, lots of florals, lots of silky sort of textures, lots of flowy kind of feeling garments, I guess. I don't know necessarily that I'm much of a trend spotter, but I know what I like on the street, and I think people should dress up their own style and have fun with fashion, and not necessarily stick to trends, but stick to their own style and what they like. At the schools, Kelly and Darren are really great facilitators for learning, and Kelly's just really easy to get along with. She's very clear in her explanation of what you're having to learn, but also makes you think, you know, tells you what you have to do, but then gets you to think a little bit about what you're doing as well. Like asks you questions rather than just tells you the answers, which I like. But she's, you know, you can have a laugh, which is really nice. It's like we all look forward to coming to school.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Oh no, pleasure.